What is up? We are going to. I always rub my eyes when I start every episode. I've noticed. Anyways, um, just don't know why. It's just my habit when I start these. Anyways, this is the commentary table. This is the Wrestle Babble podcast. Actually, we might change it to wrestling mats.
The wrestling mats.
um, Under the commentary table YouTube channel still. That's a strong possibility. Friend came in way late with that name, but anyways,
Yeah.
we are gonna do what we always do and discuss Monday Night Raw on Netflix, and go from there. This was your typical show going into a pay-per-view weekend. Outside of the obvious, all the stuff going on over there, uh, but that's really about it. I mean, what jumped out for you tonight? Let's go. Let's start there.
Um. I don't know if I quite had anything quite jump out. Maybe the whole thing with Raquel and how they're going to work that because Liv being out. They have the ability to keep the tag team titles in the faction, but pretty much you gotta put Roxanne in there and disrupt the flow of everything.
Well,
But that
I
doesn't
mean,
necessarily doesn't exactly jump out.
they are. I don't say hinting at it, but they're hinting at the possibility still. That that's the obvious choice there. And then when Raquel was about to get, I think it was riptide by uh, Ripley, Roxanne jumped on Ripley's back and kind of made the save.
Yep.
Pissed off Ripley. So I mean, obviously they're still hinting at the possibility that Roxanne could start winning over more members of the Judgment Day. And it's still there. That whole scenario is still there. So, and they've hinted at it more, which makes sense. That's probably the most story-driven thing that happened tonight, in my opinion. Honestly,
Probably.
we had a good match, but and it with Breaker and Penta, but story-wise, all it did was lead to Seth saying, "Hey, this is your one warning. Don't screw with us."
Yeah, I'm trying to get him
Uh,
to back off, but the whole time he's like, "No, no, I
yeah,
would not
no,
back off." Like, okay, well, so this part's kind of meaningless
yep, yep.
because he's almost
Uh,
taking it more like a taunt than
uh,
than to like back off.
yeah, like you're not going to intimidate Penta, and that's kind of what he's getting at. But then it does kind of come off just kind of silly. What else happened?
Uh what was it? Well, we set up tag team titles from the New Day being put up for Finn and JD. But I believe that's for next week.
Yes, yes. I was trying to think of exactly what they said when they were talking. Don't you dare! Don't you dare! Don't you say it! Don't ah! And they leave. New Day's still fantastic. They want to do a photo shoot, and Pierce is slowly going through the fact he's going to make them a match, and they're just no, don't do it, no. And Pierce ends up doing it, and then they walk off all angry.
Oh, match! Yeah,
Yeah.
you have the titles. You're kind of uh,
Hmm.
you don't get to just hold on to them.
And there we just see Waller. So I wonder if it's like the official "this is over with Austin Theory" type of scenario.
Yeah, it looks like it could be. That's like the first time we've seen him just kind of alone with them, other than them trying
He's been
to split him
alone, and
up.
then Theory would walk in sometimes, type of
Yeah,
deal, and that didn't even happen. So
but it wasn't like those times weren't exactly like he was wanting to be just there with him with the New Day alone. It was more like they're in his ear sort of a thing.
yeah,
And Austin Theory shows up, so a little bit different.
yeah,
Uh, I don't know what else we could really say stood out. Well, as you had brought up while we were actually watching it, Jade stealing Cody's finisher and going like, that's normally a heel move. Why's he doing that? So that was a little
Yeah, he went
different.
to it a couple times. It set up the exchange pretty well. That was good, but it was weird to see Jay go for the crossroads. Don't really see a point on why he did that, but
Yeah, like hey, I thought
outside of the fun reversal battle they did.
hey, I thought today were like, you don't normally see like a face versus a face too much in the rare occasions like Stone Cold and The Rock. Um, so it's almost like you try to turn one of them heel to verse each other, and I could see it a bit more with Cody, but I kind of I kind of see it as like their fan bases would just kind of stick with them and side with them if you
Yeah,
do
and
it the
this
right way. And
yeah,
then
and
there's not really a heel effectively.
there never is when they're that over. I mean, even you had that kind of stuff played back and forth in the Rock and Austin matches and stuff like that, and it just is what it is. Maybe that's why they did it. Maybe they were like, hey, Austin Rock, Hogan Rock did stuff like this, and the crowd kind of ate it up. At the same time, they had a good idea. That was the cleanest reversal I've ever seen of the Crossroads, is to counter it into you doing the Crossroads. It was pretty slick. So they probably
Yeah.
just had the idea and wanted to do it. But it did feel weird for character development. But
Yeah. They made up and were friends afterwards. But yeah, I mean, it's a little weird putting them in that. I mean, if they were gonna put them in that situation, it's like why wouldn't you do it in the finals and not in the semifinals? But I guess then again, uh, it's not like it's over for Cody for that situation because now he has to go against Randy in the finals.
yep.
He's got to go like through two friends just to win this thing.
Yep.
Ugh.
Wow. Today was very draining. Bear with me.
Yeah,
Um.
I'm a little yawny too. And this little
So
yappy dog won't shut up behind me.
yeah, I didn't bark at all during Raw.
Yeah, now he's like hyped up playing with some toy and just barking at it like it owes him money.
Right. So, but yeah, we didn't really. I'm not surprised by Cody winning the match. The next big one that you could say happened, I guess, the next biggest thing story wise, progressing somewhere, would be the Becky Lynch Bailey Lycuria match, because there was some story involved with that. We see a split developing between Lycuria and
Yeah, there's kind of a three-way dance
Lycuria.
kind of.
Did I just combine her two names? Lyra Valkyria. I combined her two names.
Yeah, you
What
kind
the
of
hell's
did a little
wrong
bit.
with me?
Oh, puppy's getting big. Like a
Yeah,
big
puppy is.
Oh, big puppy. Okay, down we go, puppy. Maybe if you stay in here biting my fingers, you're not gonna bark constantly. God.
Right.
But yeah, you kind of combined.
Yeah, I don't
your
even know how I
names
did that.
together.
But yeah, so
that's talent.
Lyra, Becky, and Bailey, with the split between Becky and not split between Becky, but Bailey and Lyra, uh, going further because Lyra supposedly gets the emotions get the best of her and she gets Bailey DQ'd and doesn't understand why that's a bad thing. Apparently,
Well, you're
I don't even understand why that's an argument. Like, you know what happened, you know what you did, and you know how you screwed him. How are you confused how this is a bad thing? Like, I don't understand. Like when they just did this exact same storyline with Ripley and EO,
Yeah.
Ripley immediately realized that she screwed up and was sad. You know what I mean? Like, she realized, oh, I cost EO this, and that's how we had the EO versus Ripley scenario for EO to win the belt in the first place.
Yeah.
All because Ripley accidentally got EO disqualified. But now Lyra comes in, does the same thing, but is oblivious to the fact that this cost Bailey a chance at the belt.
She's doing inexperienced. I don't know. I don't know. She.
Anyways.
I don't know. I don't know how to put it.
We just did this though. We just did this.
I know, but now we can do the same thing but different. So
Thick-headed? I don't understand.
yeah, essentially. No, you're not using squeaky toy. Thank you. Yeah, I think it was more just deliberate to make it just like a 3-way battle. So it's not going to be just Lyra versus Becky again for the
Oh, definitely.
rematch. It's
But
just getting Bailey in there.
getting Lyra. Yeah, Lyra back in there. Just now I'm watching myself. Am I making it all one name again? Um, because Bailey had her match. She was going for the belt, and in that scenario, then
Well, yeah, but now she got screwed, so then she's gonna make a case for her to be in the next title match with those two,
you
making
could
it
have
a 3-way.
argued that she should have won the belt, and it should have been Lyra against her anyways. This is a way to keep Becky in the scenario, I guess.
I
It's a way
guess.
to keep all three of them, I guess, in the same scenario.
I
But
I just saw it
it just
as
seemed weird because it's like, how does Lyra not understand what she did? That's the part that got me.
yeah, I know. There's some things that kind of take you out of it a little bit, where it's just like that doesn't make logical sense.
Yeah.
Well, they're not doing logical. They're just making a way to get a triple threat going for this belt. I think that's all it really comes down to.
Without making Lyra completely seem like a heel, I guess, because
Yeah, just trying to go like, what did I do
right,
wrong?
instead of going, yeah, I did that. Screw
we,
you.
we, we, we both hate her, right? Now I get my title shot. Yours got screwed up somehow. We don't know how.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, it's mystery. In fact, how that happened.
It's amazing. It just
Um,
happened. It's a biased ref. Hope I don't get that ref.
what else happened? We had the Queen of the Ring tournament. However, too, we had Jade and Roxanne Perez.
Yep.
Not a bad match overall. Uh, Roxanne's really, really good in the ring.
They did
Jade's
have
getting much better, but
they did have some beats in it where it was, to me in my head, it was looking like they were maybe gonna have Roxanne win it.
they're always going to hint at the possibility because Roxanne can't win anything because she can win any match at any type of thing. She can win it because they do love her and she is that good.
Yeah.
My only downfall with this match was, and Jessica was trying to be real slick with it, but again, when Jade rolled her over for the pin, her foot was under Roxanne's shoulder.
Yeah.
So Jessica, knowing this is the end, slides her hand under like she's checking to see if the shoulder's down, but also shoving Jade's foot out of the way so the shoulder can fall to the mat. So
Yeah, kind of one of those things that makes you kind of go like, well, wrestling wasn't exactly their first choice when they're not realizing the basics of your opponent's shoulders. Both of them need to be down on the mat for the pin to count, or otherwise
see, it's one of those. It's one of those details that sets you apart from being good and being great. She realizes that good is the pose, the dramatic like lean back, the facial expression, the acting part of the pin. She nailed all of that, but she missed the small detail of where her
really
foot was.
pinning her.
Right, exactly. And so
you don't actually have a pin here.
Yeah, that's so she's doing fine. Just that's something that hopefully someone pulls her in the back and goes, loved everything about it. Just if you need to take a second, check your feet, check their shoulders,
Yeah.
like you really would in a real situation.
Yeah. Because the ref did the best thing she could think of, because the only other thing I could think of that's going on is just like, both her shoulders aren't down. This isn't a pin.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
go
you literally
like,
just have to tap Jade on the shoulder and be like, your foot's, she's still here because your foot's in the way.
Your foot's under her. She's not being pinned right now.
Right.
Like,
So instead of doing all that, which
nice pose, but nothing's happening.
right. And she was pretty slick about it. If you weren't watching, if you were doing something else and it was background noise, you might have missed it. So no complaints. She handled it well. She snuck that in there. But yeah, I looked at it and went, man.
I kind of missed it. And then you were saying like, oh yeah, watch the replay. It was like, oh yeah, it shows it right in the replay. Just fishing that foot out from under
The
her.
shoulder is definitely almost down. He swats the foot out.
Yeah. Yeah, got her now. Okay, now I can
Yeah.
count. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. So, but overall, not a bad match. I just don't feel like a lot happened. They had a 5-minute promo detailing Punk and Cena. Like, None of us know who Punk or Cena is, or haven't seen their entire careers. Like
Okay. I did actually see that. At the time, I'm like, I don't think I saw that. No, I did, but I was so like, I've seen this a million times. I just zoned out
yep,
from watching. I just,
it came back from commercial to Rhea demanding a match, getting a street fight, to that package, to a commercial, and two of the longest entrances ever. Like the last hour was pissed off Rhea that was entertaining, video package, probably last 45 minutes, entrances, and then about a 15 to 20-minute match.
yeah.
That was the last about 45 minutes of the show. Good match, don't get me wrong, but I'm just interesting pacing. That's all.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever explained why the start time next week is 3 o'clock or whatever it is, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, it was like 2 hours earlier.
Yeah, I don't think they ever explained why. I'm still confused as to why, personally.
Yeah, it is really kind of weird. They did.
Better be Corey. Corey better be on. As much as I love Pat, Corey better be on commentary. That's his home.
Our initial thought was they were going to be in Saudi Arabia still for Raw, but from how you're looking up tickets, it's like, well, it's mostly sold out. So it's like they couldn't have just announced this. There wouldn't have been enough time to get that sold by then.
Right.
So
they've been planning to go to Pitt longer than I realized.
Yeah.
At least, and
but
so
yeah, so at that it just leaves us at a loss of like, why is that timetable pushed up?
I'm sure there has to be something going on in the evening, but I don't know what it is. Sports are done at this point. It's only baseball.
Like they got something like double booked. I couldn't imagine like they can't like wrap up with wrestling and do something after that. What the hell would they do? They got a damn wrestling ring and a lighting rig to get out the way. It's not like you all of a sudden have a concert.
Yeah, no, I have no idea no idea. And the WWE doesn't double book. They want something, they get it.
Yeah. I'd imagine it's like at least they got the day, if not more. It probably takes a while to set all that shit up.
There were like double bookings for like when NXT was traveling with like the Agora here and stuff like that, and no, that didn't stand. They don't double book.
Yeah.
WWE wants a building, they get a building. That's just how this goes.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. They announced New Orleans. They wanted Vegas. They got Vegas. Like they just get what they want. They have the money to throw around to get what they want in the pool, and they do. So,
yeah, it's still interesting to ever find out the true details of why it went to Vegas again after this last year didn't go that well.
It was the highest grossing gate they ever had.
Yeah, because they made all the tickets astronomical, and then they had to panic sell the rest of them at the end.
I'm telling you, I looked at the ticket prices for that Raw in Pittsburgh because I was curious to see if it was a newly minted situation or if they've been selling for a while. And floor's like, not even floor, like I think lower bowl is like $400 a ticket, according to StubHub. It's insane for a Raw. You're out of your mind. Who's doing this? Who's
setting these ticket prices?
Who's going?
Yeah.
So
it is a big concern they're going to end up pricing out their fan base.
I mean, as people are going, then they're just pricing in the wealthy fan base that isn't affected apparently by a recession.
I guess.
There's that group exists, man. Let me tell you. You know, if you work at a Jaguar dealership or a Ferrari dealership, those people come in and pay cash. So they don't really care.
Yeah.
And they love to talk about how like salesmen for like Ferrari dealerships, so like the guy that comes in the suit, he's probably going to get a finance deal. He's probably going to be able to afford that Ferrari. It's like the person that comes in khaki shorts and a Hawaiian t-shirt and flip-flops, that man can probably buy 10 Ferraris. That man has reached the point where he wears what he wears because he can.
He doesn't need to dress to impress anybody.
Nope. It's actually the same thing that Mark Cuban has said as well, is that one of the other Shark Tank guys asked him, why do you dress, for lack of a better term, like a slob? Why are you in a t-shirt? And his exact words were, because I can. I put myself in a position where I can dress this way. And if you see someone in a t-shirt in a boardroom, that's the guy to impress because that's the guy with all the say.
Yeah, that's the guy with the money.
Yep.
The people with the suits are trying to not necessarily put on a facade, but at least put that out there. And the guy in the
And they
t-shirt
don't,
doesn't need to.
the guy in the Hawaiian shirt can fire them. That's the difference.
Yeah. You dress too nice. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, they're trying to make sure that they seem professional enough for that, but the reality is the guy that dressed like a slob in the corner is the guy that has all the power. So,
Yeah.
and by slob I mean probably a $500 to $1,000 Hawaiian shirt, just because.
Yeah, but comfier than wearing that hot suit on a 94-degree day.
Yeah. In the sub-zero temperature office, I'm sure.
Yeah.
With sun reflecting windows and everything else.
Yeah.
But anyways, we got way off track there.
Yeah, we did. 20 minutes in, gone.
Not really our fault. There wasn't much that happened on this Raw, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
They're just prepping for SmackDown and the show itself.
Yeah, Gunther coming out,
Goldberg
trying not to be scared of Goldberg. First just like, oh god, I'm next, and now just going like, I'm not worried about him.
It's not 1999 anymore, and he's right.
That's true.
I mean, Goldberg cuts his from an interview perspective. I don't know what to expect from that. I assume Gunther tries to help put on a good match and then gets the win. If Goldberg wins, I don't see a point. I don't see where you go with it. I don't understand. Says to me his last match. So if he wins, then he's going to lie and say, hey, yeah, you know what? I'm going to make my little run with this belt and then lose it in no time. But back to Gunther probably, because you're not going to have Jay beat him. You know what I mean? So it doesn't make any sense. So I don't know why, unless Goldberg just has this urge to put over Gunther, I don't know why else this match is happening. Doesn't make any sense to me. Or unless the Saudis really wanted Goldberg and they paid a shit ton. That could be too.
It, but wasn't
because they love to request some of the older wrestlers. Because
wasn't the last time they saw Goldberg that horrible match with the Undertaker, where he made himself.
I blocked that. That didn't happen.
He made himself concussed and he couldn't do the tombstone reversal thing, and
neither one could do the tombstone reversal thing well, and that went bad when
old fucking men.
Undertaker tried to do it with Roman Reigns. I couldn't think of his name for a minute. We haven't seen him really, but yeah. So that needs to go away. That can't happen anymore. But
once those sort of mistakes started showing up, I hope that was finally the sign for him to go like, okay, I'm too old, I can't do it anymore. And I love the Undertaker, by the way. I'm wearing a goddamn Undertaker shirt as we speak, so not like I don't love the guy, but man, he got
indie wrestling.
He got to the point where I just had to be like, please stop wrestling, stop doing it, you are too old. No one's telling you you're too old because they respect you too much. They want you around because you're great advice. Like,
it was a big payday too. There was a big payday. I think it was it him and Shawn Michaels and somebody else. It was, I think, one of the first Saudi shows, and they were handing out a ton of cash. And I remember him. I didn't see the entire episode he was talking about this on, but he talked about how like he and I think it was Shawn and somebody else were like, we don't need to run this match. We don't need to practice this match. We don't need to. We can do this in our sleep. And he's like, once they left that ring and they were heading back to the locker room, is when he was like, that was awful. What did we just do? Like, that's when it clicked that, like, maybe we don't got the same step we had before. Maybe we should have rehearsed some stuff because we ain't quite got that same it that we did in 1997.
No.
But, yeah. I don't know. We'll see. It's a match for Saudi. That's what it is. It's what they want. I assume Gunther will win, and we'll go back to Jay going after him.
I think as Undertaker got older, I think old man Undertaker, I think that's the years I would have liked to seen him as the American Badass. When it's just like, okay, well, you can't really do the old things that you used to do, but you can just be kind of like a, kind of like a biker bar fighter kind of a guy, where it's just like,
Right.
okay, well, put your game more kind of like on the ground and put up your dukes and do it that style. I know how he felt that he had to reinvent himself during the Attitude Era, but I don't know. I felt like he should just
He
still
left the
been.
Attitude Era and went into the Ruthless Aggression era, and that's somewhere where, with Roland coming out, because I think he came out to that a couple times as the American Badass too,
Yeah,
and then American Badass.
yeah. American
Thought,
Badass, I think, ended up being first, but I mean, he came back as the American Badass during like towards the end of the Attitude Era.
see, I always thought he came out to Roland first because I know that Limp did the one WrestleMania, but I could be wrong. Like they were the musical guest that actually played on the stage for
Maybe,
WrestleMania early on. So I
I got it reversed.
I was
Hmm.
tailing off at the around that time because that was 2001, 2002.
Oh,
And then I
when
remember the American Badass actually started off with the "He's Here" thing, right?
Yeah, but I think it was right after that it went to I am American Bad
Right.
and all that. I think it went through that beginning. Now when he first came out that one pay-per-view and went around the ring and mopped the floor with like what was it? It was like it's like part of DX and the corporation.
Probably.
He was hitting everybody. Um that he didn't have anyone's music on it. It was just like something kind of custom made. Um, and then once he started coming out with it was either American Badass or Rolling. But
I probably was. I mean, I know obviously American Badass was his song, but for some reason I just thought he did Roland at least once.
well, he did Rolling. I think as soon as Limp Bizkit dropped their second album, it would have been.
Okay.
I think.
But yeah, that makes sense. But he probably reinvented himself because he thought he was at the point of his career. And this is hard to say, only he would know. But maybe he felt like he was at the beginning part of the back nine, like he had just crested and was going to go that route and never expected to wrestle until he was 60 or whatever it was.
Yeah, I guess maybe he would have felt that way.
Maybe he's
I
like,
mean,
okay, now was a good time to become the American Badass and throw punches and do this, and then said, I'm not in the back, I'm not at the end of my career, but I'm gonna go that direction soon. And then he wrestled for like another double his career or whatever after that point.
I kind of thought he would have had more to do with like the Ministry of Darkness, but they didn't seem to ever want to put like any of those people in it over. They just kind of use them as like heels to just beat up on and get over on. So if they would have done other than like the acolytes, I mean, they came out of that and they just, but they did that kind of on their own and became their own thing because they were an amazing tag team, the two of them.
Yeah, they were also good at their segments. I don't know who came up with that idea, but the door for the
Oh,
APA was
yeah.
the
Well,
door and Damn carried the foundation of it, and the team was just good as well. But you needed to have those other moments back then to stick out.
yeah. I think when they started doing the whole backstage thing with the door and all that, I think that was all the Undertaker was gone before he reinvented into the American Badass. It was just like, well, it's still the acolytes, but the Undertaker hasn't been seen.
Right, and so they were still just badasses. So
Yeah,
they were just like, yeah, we'll be a protection agency. Why not?
and they just went into their own thing.
Yep,
Now
it's
that's a
genius though.
that's a great
Genius.
way to evolve.
Yeah, that was genius.
Go from like two minions of the Ministry of Darkness into just like yeah, we just bar fight and
Yeah,
protect people
and use
for
the
money.
door. What are you born in a barn? What's
Yeah,
wrong with you? There's a door right there, man.
yeah, they're a door.
Yeah, what's wrong with these people? It's fantastic. They were a very hard hitting comedic group, and that was fantastic because
Yeah,
it was funny, and then they knew that they would clothesline your head off your shoulders as well. So,
Yeah.
um, but I don't know. I just wasn't impressed with this episode at all. I didn't dislike it. I just looked at it like, all right.
It's the raw prep work before you have a PLE. One of
But
those things.
a PLE that's not going to do much.
Yeah, because we know titles aren't going to change hands.
Well, that's Saturday night main event. But
Oh,
yes.
well, yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess with the Saudi thing, I guess you could see titles change hands, but not the Goldberg.
No, and the other one's Cena and Punk.
Yeah, and I don't think that's going to change hands either because I don't
Nope.
think they're ready to take that title off of Cena
Nope.
yet. I think they're just running Cena through people to eventually. I hope they're smart about the end and give someone that needs or deserves the rub at the end the rub. Like I still kind of go back with like thinking like it'd be cool if they did that to Jay because it would be like more legitimize him. With Cody, he's a. I mean, I said it last week. He's already a made man. Well, he don't need it. I mean, sure.
I mean, you have to switch Jay's shows and everything else to do it.
I know. We covered that all last week. Our
Now, the
podcast
one you
came
could
on
do
my
it,
headphones today at work.
the one you could do is, but you better start the build soon, is Sami Zayn.
Oh yeah.
That would be the big moment that he's the guy who saves professional wrestling. You could argue someone who's been a pure wrestler, someone who's not very big on theatrics and blah, 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 and blah, 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 and not a whole bunch of fancy move sets. And you could argue that he would be one that fit the mold for what's going to stop Cena from, ending wrestling as we know it. But Sammy needs more build than this, and we're running out of time. So I don't know if that's actually a logical answer, but it'd be a bigger surprise. Be a bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, right now it feels like Cody.
Yeah, I don't like that. I mean, okay, it'll be great for all the Cody crybabies, I guess, to rehash Rock's line, but I don't see how it helps anything. Like Cody doesn't need that boost. He just doesn't.
I don't think anybody needs the boost. I think for
Well,
this one, me personally, like to me, this one is more about how we end Cena's career more than the other person's boost.
I guess so, but wrestling, all they always talk about that, like doing the job for the next people. Go out on your back and
Right.
cough up a title. I mean, you just look at how they ruined the Undertaker streak by like having Brock beat him. I mean, I guess it would make sense, like, oh, if anybody could be Brock, but it's like it felt like such a waste. It seemed like it was so much better for Roman to beat him, but at that point he already got beat by Brock, so it was like once it got to Roman beating him, it was like pointless. But it could have meant something.
Right.
They squander some of these opportunities.
Well, I'm sure Vince's thought process with that was how do you continue to elevate a character like Brock? And the one way you can do that is by having him beat the streak. Now,
I guess.
The sad part is it makes sense for Brock to win, like psychology wise and everything like that. It makes sense physically,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have the same value as if, say, before he passed away late, Bray Wyatt was the one who beat the Undertaker, or if Roman would have done it when he wrestled him. But even Roman, see, there are certain characters that they use. I mean, I don't know. What I'm getting at is you have two options with the streak, and that is A, to catapult someone into that stardom range, or B, take the invincible guy who's done everything and just nudge him a little further, because how else do you nudge him a little further? And that's what they did with Brock. They took the invincible character that's done everything, and they found something that no one's done before. So they just elevated his character by that much, but they could. Because what else would you do at that point to make Brock more than he was already at that point? That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. No,
I agree. I would invite somebody
see
else to
that
do
way.
it. Don't get me wrong, but I guess the more I sit here and just brainstorm about it, I could see why or how you would give it to Brock. I don't think it's the best move, but I could see why. Because what else? How else do you make him better? Like, how do you make Brock any more infamous? He was out of stuff to do.
Yeah.
He won all the stuff. There's nothing left.
Yeah, there is a bit. That's a bit of a point.
So he beats the streak, and now
it already hit 40.
Mm-hmm.
So was it 41-1?
Oh, was it? Maybe.
Or was it 40? Like, it sort of makes sense that it's like he hits 40 and then, okay, well, the next one he loses at 41. But I almost think the streak was 41-1.
I don't remember at the time. Not a clue. But, yeah, So, yeah, as all that relates back to Brock, Goldberg, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't see the point of this match.
Have a match to retire Goldberg.
Pretty much.
I mean, is it
It
for the
makes
title
no
or is it just a match?
It's for the title, I believe.
What? If you're retiring, why the fuck are you going for the belt? What, to just go like, I won it and I'm gonna lay it down here?
All the true real wrestlers will leave with the belts this year.
Yeah. I'm ruining wrestling. Wrestling's next.
You did it back in '99. Stop trying.
Because it's mine. Wrestling,
Right.
that is.
Because it's next.
Yeah, because it's
Like,
next.
stop going in circles, man.
And it's mine.
Side note, I went to a card show this weekend, a small local one, and didn't find a whole lot wrestling related, but I did find this, like, New Japan made I think that might be centered on your camera.
I'm actually looking at your stream to see it
Oh,
instead.
I'll go back to here.
Which is why I had yours up in case you started showing any of this stuff.
Right. Well, this is only wrestling related. So it's a playing card of a game. I don't know for sure, but I expected to find like maybe a Buck or Omega.
Cody?
Osprey.
Oh, Osprey. I couldn't tell with all the language I can't read on there.
No, I actually tweeted out that I'm 99% sure this is the coolest find ever because I'm only 99% sure it's Osprey. But yeah, Osprey would wear a lot of green in his stuff, and I'm 99% sure that was him. But yeah, I can't read the Japanese writing to confirm
I couldn't
either.
really tell if it was green on there. Kind of like
it's like a green and brown,
white gold, but okay.
Yeah, it's like it's a muddy gold. I'll give you that, I guess, but it's definitely very muddy. But
a little bit hard.
Attack. It's got 2 attack and 4 defense. I don't know what this game is, but I'm curious. But I wanted the Osprey card, so I got it. That was they had Red Shoes too, which is the famous referee for New Japan.
Oh, okay.
Named that because he wears red shoes while reffing.
Yeah, that was pretty self-explanatory.
Pretty on the nose.
Yeah. They had rough red shoes. I'm like, I bet he wears red shoes.
That's crazy. I know.
kind of giving away the plot there.
So far, this has been a real short podcast, but we have derailed several times already.
I think if anything, that's giving it length because this Raw was just.
It wasn't bad. It just wasn't anything.
Yeah,
it was exactly what you would think it was. It was very vanilla.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't spectacular. It really didn't just like set up really anything because everything's already kind of set up. The only inkling of anything is what they're gonna do with the New Day after Liv's getting hurt, and that's the only thing that's like of speculation. What the fuck did I say?
New Day.
I said New Day. Judgment Day. Yeah, thank you.
I was like, wait, when is Liv going to join the New Day? I was really confused. I'm like, oh wait, I got to go back and rewatch it. Maybe I'm shortchanging Raw. Maybe I missed something.
Day all these factions. Damn it, too many. There's a lot of days. Fuck off with your days.
Baron Corbin's finishing move used to be the end of days. They like Day a lot. Oh, Karrion Cross is
Like,
going to get used, which is nice.
yes.
Because there was a
Um,
thought that he left main event because he was on main event, and that was going to be a send off because he had Scarlett jump up on his shoulder, and they kind of like walked out to a pretty good applause. But he got some new merch, and seems to be going with against Sammy. So good
I
for
mean,
that.
I mean, he got cheered as hell when his face popped up on the screen tonight. So for
He's
the
over. He's super over. It doesn't mean they
yeah,
don't cut him.
duh. You got a potential for a superstar here.
They'll still
Fucking
cut him.
fucking run with it. Don't fuck this shit up.
Yeah, don't. It does seem like they're going to give him a chance to have another, at least a little bit of a run here with Sammy. So that's good.
Good God. Um, that's who you have to take the belt off of Cena.
Cross.
Cross. You build it up like, oh, this fucking industry's rigged and all this fucking shit, and here's fucking Super Cena, the fucking bullshit one that always fucking wins in, keeps the title over all these dumbass reasons. It's all just fucking rigged and faked and against everybody. And here he is complaining that's rigged in his favor. I don't know. You can go all sorts of ways with him going like, it's fucking rigged. Or it's fucking, everything he's been complaining about, where it's just like, yeah, we sit back here just wanting to be used, and they just sit us back here. Don't give us a fucking chance. I don't know. There's some
Yeah,
way
I
you
mean,
can go with it.
it'd be fun. They're not going to do it. That'd be fun. I'm not against it.
The only thing else I can think with like your Sammy idea, like you don't like there's not enough time. I mean, if he like really beat the hell out of one of Sammy's buddies to get Sammy all amped up to like, I gotta defend my friend that you kicked the living hell out of, whether it be Jay or Cody or
I mean, they already
you
screwed
name it.
Cody. He always
Yeah.
seems to come out to save Jay.
Well, maybe that's it then. You run Jay at Cena and he loses by, Cena using heel tactics, and then you send Sammy at him on a swerve and win it and take it off Cena.
Ooh,
I don't know,
love of God.
but yeah, they gotta start coming up with something.
Agreed.
But
Because
I
right
mean,
now it's very bland milk toast, whatever you want to call it, boring. Cody gets there and wins it back.
yeah,
I do think we see The Rock before the end of this. I think we
I
have to.
I hope to God, because otherwise it's like, what was the point of any of that showing up at the Rumble? Like, what? Just a waste of our time pretending like, oh yeah, we're always just having a long storyline. We're planning this out way in advance, and then you don't show up and Cena's gone and he's retired, and it plays out with the title, and it's like, okay, well, where the fuck were you? This
Oh
was
no,
your
he'll
guy
come
now.
back. He'll come back in 5 more years for a rematch of all of it.
Oh my god.
No, I don't know. I think there was a change of plans along the way, is what happened. But I feel like to start this thing with the turn because of The Rock, to not have The Rock show back up by like say SummerSlam or whatever the belt situation changes hands. I don't know why you would start it with The Rock then. Like that doesn't make any sense. So
Yeah, I don't know why you do this drawn out thing like, Cody, you're my brother. I want you to be my champion. And then you just give Cena the word to like, okay, execute him. He didn't join us. And then you fuck off. It's like, what? What is the point of that?
right,
There's no point.
nope.
All
Well,
right.
he'd argue that he got his champion, which is Cena.
Yeah.
He had no other business to do. It'd be what his argument is.
And
Which
right
is why I
now,
said by the end of this, he has to be back. Once Cena has a threat of losing the belt, he has to be back.
yeah, right now all they're doing with Cena is just running him through people and just going like, Okay, well, we'll see all these matches. You want to see Cena go against these people, and they're just gonna lose, 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 lose.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is that like The Rock shows up with a more Cena-esque bad guy that screws Cena out of the belt, and then Cena goes back against the establishment again and
Or
helps someone like Cody or Jay win the belt.
or you gotta almost go like the Attitude Era ways, where it's like, say, like,
Music hits and they just clear out the entire locker room. One
well,
person destroys everybody.
I was gonna say more like, your, they say they have a match, whether it be CM Punk this time, and oh, he actually he wins it from Cena, but then like the next night on Raw, The Rock comes out and goes like, no, that didn't count. Cena's still our champion. That was BS. Some like Vince McMahon screwing Stone Cold Soul
Right.
away, and making The Rock show up and actually be like, you gotta be a part of this. If he's gonna be your champion, you gotta basically be cheating for him to win and stay the champion, and basically just keep
Yeah, right
being a
now it
trump card.
feels like Rock started a story and then just handed it to Cena and said, "Hey, I don't feel like doing this anymore. Figure it out." And Cena's like, "I
Just
guess I want to ruin wrestling."
or
Like, that's
or just butted into the story and went like, I want to be a part of this, but just for one night, and then he had something that wasn't gonna like some other obligation that showed up around WrestleMania time. And he's just like, I can't make it. Good luck.
yeah.
So, but yeah,
I don't know.
if this plays out with The Rock not coming back and being a part of any of this and making it make even the vaguest amount of sense or logic at all, it's just I just say just shit on The Rock after this heavily. Just like, why did you even bother showing up?
Right.
Period. Like, it's like, either be here and be a part of it. Sure, if you're going to be part time and for like the big shows and be part of the storyline, fine. But if you can't bother to show up, stay fucking gone.
Right.
Let's forget about you. And
Yeah.
I'd say that's about enough for me tonight. I think that'd be a good place to end it.
That's
Unless
a
you
good
got something
closer.
else.
And I got nothing else because there wasn't much to it. So
Yeah.
kept it under an hour. I'm tired. I worked outside and it was a bazillion degrees. So not outside, but doors were open and stuff. So it was still 90 in the damn shop.
Yeah.
So I have got nothing left in it. So I apologize for, dying during the entire podcast. But
Nah, bro. It was a hot ass day.
yep. And another one tomorrow.
Yep. And then after that, all week.
I got rain and 80s.
Rain in like 87. So
I got
we'll
rain in
see.
83 on Wednesday.
83 on Wednesday? I got much higher than that. Well, okay. My thing might be wrong. Who knows?
I'm hoping yours is wrong. I'll take mine over yours. I mean, I'm not saying it is, but I'm going to hope.
I'm biased towards the Weather Channel, so if you're doing local, yeah, that could be a bit more correct. We'll see. I hope it's less heat.
But all right, it's been fun. We'll probably be more alive and more in tune with what's going on come next weekend because hopefully more stuff happens after SmackDown and Night of Champions and then another edition of Raw. Hopefully more has happened, but not much happened. If you did not watch tonight, you did not miss much. You missed Jade licking Roxanne's face and a pissed off Ripley. That's about it. Oh, and Dom got hurt somehow when no one knows how.
Yeah.
So he hurt his ribs. So who knows?
Huh.
That's your recap. That could have been the podcast. I apologize right off the bat. That could have been the podcast. But it's been fun. We will talk